Welcome. We are here eager to share, wanting to share our opening line. Tracy has moved aside to receive collective consciousness. Through the gifts of mediumship, source energy is able to share. And what is the sharing through Tracy? The foundation of all the sharing is based on love, compassion, kindness, forgiveness. And it does not matter what order they are in. And with this foundation, there are many avenues in which we can share insights and wisdom. And the foundation of all the sharing through Tracy is to allow a space for ones to feel better than perhaps one is feeling. So we speak about many topics, from emotions to vibration to truly just walking the pathway upon Mother Earth. So today we have chosen one of the sections directly, compassion. And truly we have shared segments on compassion, forgiveness, kindness, love, again, all branching out, but the foundation is always there. And ones will say, well, is that really interesting? And we think it is fascinating. We think it is fascinating to the point that we want to share with you why love, compassion, kindness, forgiveness is truly the light of who you truly are. Who you are under life experiences. Where were you before arriving to Mother Earth? Beautiful question to ponder. We ask it often. Ones tend to think about the departure from Mother Earth. And most would agree, divine eternal light. And we share in this divine eternal light, in the oneness, in the wholeness, in the vastness. You can use the word universe if you want. Truly, it is love at its purest form, compassion at the grandest, we want to say level, but compassion beyond compassion. It is forgiveness, and it certainly is kind and gentle and soothing and healing. So divine eternal light, we want to share without changing anyone's beliefs, is who you are. Where were you before physical form? So here you are arriving to Mother Earth to experience life upon Mother Earth, and you are holding within, we want to say, the grandest, greatest treasure of all treasures to be discovered. You hold within the purest sense of joy, the purest sense of love, the purest sense of compassion. Again, kindness and forgiveness. We do not want to repeat, but it is so, we want to say, so grand in the sharing. It is light. It is who you are. So you have come to Mother Earth with this beauty, if you will, your inner essence of all that is, your God within, if you will. And then life, you move along life from a little one, and life experience tends to cover up the joy, the love, the compassion, forgiveness, kindness. And we share that all this, if you will, that foundation, is a choice to bring forth. It is a choice. It is a choice to be kind or not. It is a choice to be forgiving or not. It is a choice to be compassionate or not. And it is a choice to love or not. Isn't it fascinating when it's truly who you are? What would the world look like if every soul truly remembered their own brilliance? what would be created upon Mother Earth? Would there be harsh judgment? Would there be condemnation? Would there be cruelty to any one thing? And the answer is no. Is there war in heaven? It would sound absurd to ones. So we encourage ones to bring heaven to earth, and earth will be your heaven. But what we are truly saying in that is bring forth your divine inner essence that is oneness with all, to explore the greatest gifts that you have been given before you arrived. And you will remain holding the most magnificent light and love when you depart. Most would agree. So we'll speak about compassion, because compassion is something that truly is a choice. And we shared that this can all be measured, if you will. And this is how we sort of share why it is a choice. Because often ones will say, well, I don't choose. But it is a choice. Anger is a choice. Resentment is a choice. It's all a choice. Compassion, say there's a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. We have shared that someone can be at a level 10, allowing compassion to be shared. A level 10 with a spouse, a lover, an animal, if you will, and can be at a level 1 towards a total stranger, not caring, not giving compassion at all. And we have also shared that, isn't it fascinating that this can be changed? That ones can bring their compassion to a level 10 for a total stranger, and being at a 1 for an animal, a spouse, or a lover, if you will. And isn't it fascinating that it moves? And it moves by what? What moves it on the scale? And this is what we want to share. What if everyone upon Mother Earth brought their level of compassion to a 10? There would never be war on the planet. There would never be hatred and harsh judgment and condemnation. There would never be resentment. Everyone would want everyone to truly flourish as they walk upon Mother Earth. So when you are not feeling your best, if you will, and we understand that there are times in one's life that one is taken to their knees in absolute grieving, and it is understood. And this is why we share, to allow a space for ones to remember who they truly are underneath life experience. So we would gently ask that when you are moving throughout your day, ask yourself, how compassionate have I been? Was I compassionate to my coworker? Was I compassionate to my children? Was I compassionate to my parents, if you will? And most times the answer, of course, is yes. And then ask yourself, and what level of compassion did I show? Was it a 10? Was it a 5? Were you running late and you just didn't have time? Just could not allow the other one to move into traffic because you were pressed for time? Again, kindness, compassion. It's all in the same divine light, if you will. It is interchangeable, because you cannot be compassionate without the grandest sense of love. And you cannot be kind without the grandest sense of compassion and love. And you most certainly cannot bring forth forgiveness when love is not present. And we share time and time again, love is the answer to all things. If everyone applied that, to their, we want to say, questions of life, or how to handle someone, or how to approach this experience or situation. When you come from a place of the pureness of love, you raise the level of all of it. You raise the level of compassion, you raise the level of kindness, you raise the level of forgiveness, you raise the level of love. Now, when you are raising the level on that scale, what you are truly placing forth is the grandest vibration of who you are. And we have shared that the vibration of love, compassion, kindness, forgiveness, truly trumps all. It trumps all. The level of compassion, when it is at a 10, when it is all, we want to say at a 10, it trumps all. It would even trump anger at a 10. It would. So all emotions can be measured this way. And that is how we share. It is a choice, because ones can feel mildly angry, if you will, to the point of rage, 10, rage. And it is a choice where it is. It may not feel like a choice because it is so natural. When one has experienced something that brought forth the feeling of anger, it would be brought forth by one. And it's fascinating how one can find a place of the purest of anger, and another experiencing something very similar, or even the same, in the same place, in the same time. Say there's a meeting, if you will, and there's information that is being conveyed. You'll find one in haste, one in anger, one going with it, rolling with it. Doesn't seem to have any emotion at all. Then you have ones that do not express any emotion. They just seemed void of it. That is also a choice. So isn't it fascinating that there are, we want to say, different reactions to something that is very similar, all in the same meeting, and ones will take the information being shared and possibly get frustrated or angry. Some might feel even relieved with the same information. Is that not fascinating? We think it is. So compassion towards yourself is your light of grace. Compassion towards yourself truly extends the most magnificent vibration of light to be felt. Now, to some, this is all, bunch of BS. This is BS. And we would understand. When ones express compassion, kindness, love, and forgiveness to oneself, the whole world lights up. We're not kidding. It flows outwards in vibration, and it truly is a ripple effect to where it goes. When ones are kind to themselves, their world changes. How much harsh judgment does one place upon oneself? How much condemning does one give to oneself every day, every hour? This is exhausting. It is exhausting. We say when one truly shares unkind words to themselves or to others, but so many times it's towards oneself, scolding oneself endlessly. Shouldn't have, good enough, and it goes on. But one's just getting dressed in the morning, the scolding that goes on. And we say it is like having a nail and a hammer, and every unkind word, the hammer comes down upon the nail, driving it down. And this is what happens to, we want to say, to people. They get burdened with their own thoughts of unworthiness, feeling less than, and the hammer starts. And then it truly, in a metaphor, naturally, but you can see how one then has a difficult time moving forward if one has truly beaten themselves to the ground, if you will. Metaphor, but not really. Ponder it. Ponder it. So compassion towards oneself allows space to remind yourself that unkind words are truly never wise to share. Are they shared? Yes. Is it wise to share? Most would say no. An unkind word can sit in one's heart for a lifetime. Something that was said in a playground and one's decades later can remember it as if it was yesterday, and then they held on to it. And we would say, if one could have just shared to place it down where it was found and walk forward instead of scooping it up and carrying it, and then repeat it in one's mind, the hammer coming down. And if it is repeated enough, it does become a belief, and then when it is a belief, then the scolding truly starts. Compassion for oneself is your freedom. We're not kidding. When you bring forth compassion towards yourself, and some have a hard time at a level 1, they may have compassion at a 10 for someone else, something else, compassion for Mother Earth, compassion for a stranger, compassion towards the evening news. But they cannot bring it forth for themselves. And we want to remind it is a choice. Choose love. And we know it sounds, light and love. No, we do not speak about the light and love. We speak about the depths of love. We speak about eternal light. We speak about eternal light and love. It is who you are. It is who you are. So when one can find this beautiful treasure that one's arrived with, everyone has arrived with it. Isn't it fascinating? Where does it go? What created the space to have it buried? And it is so easy to understand how it gets buried. One just shares a very sad story, tragic story, and it is understood why ones would not feel very loving. And it would be understood why ones do not feel very forgiving. And it would be understood why kindness is placed down. And that compassion for oneself would not be found. It is a choice. And we are gently reminding you of your brilliance, of your magnificence, to bring it forth for yourself. And ones will say, well, how do I do that when I feel so awful? And we understand if you feel beaten by life, truly, from the depths, it is not the easiest, we don't want to call it a task, but it takes a grand mindfulness and your own desire to feel better than perhaps one is feeling. And if you are in that place where nothing, you don't truly, it's just can't be bothered with one thing, we would just guide gently. Compassion towards oneself will set you free. It is like being lifted. And where does the lifting come from? When we talked about vibration and divine eternal light, when vibration moves forward, outward, Divine light is always moving towards you. Think of light in the sun, the stars, and the moon, always for you. Even if you do not see it, it is for you. So when you find even the slightest bit of compassion for yourself, when the last thing you feel like doing is finding compassion for any one thing, divine compassion matches the vibration. It is natural. And you are lifted. You are always held, always, in all ways. We are just here to gently allow a space for you to understand that you are. You are held in divine light. You are part and piece of the whole. You are never forgotten. So bring forth forgiveness for oneself. Bring forth compassion for oneself, kindness and love. And allow a space to soothe and nurture and heal and heal. There is so much healing in compassion. It is almost impossible to measure. The healing in forgiveness, it truly can, we can say that it would be a miracle of healing. And what is a miracle? Something that one could never think would be possible. And it almost feels as though miracles are delivered from, we want to say, divine light, does it not? Oh, to fix this, I need a miracle. Meaning I need assistance, I need help. Call upon, bring forth your inner compassion, love, kindness, forgiveness, and watch the world lift you. Watch. Really, really, really good. There is great love for you.